We never know when God might surprise us with his presence. Although he is always present around us, sometimes God comes to us in our minds when we feel a deep sense of peace or a strong awareness that he is near. The Lord certainly comes to us in this Holy Eucharist, which we celebrate this morning, and in all the other holy sacraments of the Church. In today's Holy Gospel, Jesus goes to the house of his friends, Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. It is clear from Gospel accounts that these were close friends of Jesus, where he went perhaps to relax a bit, where he felt comfortable and at home. On this occasion, there is no mention of Lazarus, although most likely he was present. But the focus is on Martha, who is busy with hospitality and with many things. And the example is given to us of Mary, who is also busy, but in listening to the Lord. And so, wanting things to be perfect, as most hosts do when guests come, Martha, we can understand, is irritated with Mary because Mary is leaving her all the chores and all the preparation to do. Nevertheless, Jesus tells Martha that only one thing is important in all that's going on, and that is to listen to the words he is speaking. Jesus does not imply that the practical necessities of life are not important, such as eating and drinking and preparing for guests. Rather, it's more that Martha, the older sister, who wanted all of her guests to be well taken care of, was troubled and preoccupied, as Jesus said, with many things, perhaps with too many details. I remember Archbishop Lambert telling me he was out raising money and he went to the home of a benefactor with another monk, and they had just eaten supper. And so they got there, and the woman, wanting to be hospitable, says, "You've got to taste this chocolate cake that I made." And Arch Lambert said, "No, we already ate, thank you." "Oh, Father Abbot, you've got to have a piece of my cake." So she cuts 2 big hunks of chocolate cake, and they force it down. And Arch Lambert said, "I had indigestion all night because of her unkind kindness." Sometimes when people say no thank you, they have a reason why. They don't want more, or they don't want something done. But some people are fussing constantly that this has to be done, and we have to do this, and you won't enjoy yourself unless you do exactly what I'm laying out for you. And so often, so much of that is unnecessary. So Jesus said she's preoccupied with too many things. Mary was listening to the Lord, and Martha was too busy to listen to Christ. She was doing a good thing by preparing what she thought needed to be taken care of. But it was time, as Jesus implies, for her to slow down and to listen to the word of life. Mary, whom we know from St. John's Gospel, who also deeply loved Jesus, would not have shirked her duty and would not have left the whole burden of being hospitable on her sister Mary. But more likely, as I said, Martha was preoccupied with imaginary things that she thought needed to be done in order to be a proper hostess. And Jesus implies as much. You are too busy. This episode of the Holy Gospel has a lot to tell us about our own busy lives today. We are busy and we are preoccupied about many things, many which need our attention, but many others which do not. In so many ways, we are like Martha, preoccupied about many things. You know, sometimes when you sit in the back row back there, and there's nothing to do with the people that are there today, it's way in the back of the church. It's typical Catholic. And they don't think Father sees them texting on their cell phone during Mass. Now, I just ask the question, does that upset me? I'm celebrating Mass. I'm conscious of God's presence. But the question comes to the forefront, is that more important, whether you're back there or here or off to the side behind the pillar or wherever, is that more important than paying attention to what's going on up here? And if it is, then stay home, because you're not fulfilling your Sunday obligation by simply sitting there and doing your business on the telephone. Or it might be my mind is somewhere else. All of our minds wander, but it might be I'm thinking about what she did to me this week or what he did to me this week. And it goes around and around and around in the head, and we miss exactly what's happening up on this holy altar. If we don't have time to come to Mass and participate, and if we don't have time to pray during the week, I guarantee you, you are too busy. But there's also another side to our lives. The side given to us by Mary's example. We are to do good, certainly, like Martha. But one of the good things that we are also to do is to slow down, be quiet, hear the Word of God, and hear Jesus, the Lord of life, and to pray, to relax. It does our soul good to slow down, to sit and relax and meditate upon all the good things God does for us, and to reflect on all these good things, knowing that the Lord, out of His love, provides for us. Sunday is a holy day of rest. It's not time unnecessarily to catch up on everything else we didn't get to during the week. It's a time, to come to church, to pray, but to relax with the family, to eat together. Not one here and one there popping in and out, but to sit down, to eat together, to listen to each other. For parents, in these conversations, to impart a little bit more of the faith consistently. So it does us good to slow down and to take stock of things. Thus, let us take time to pray, my brothers and sisters, and to reflect and to meditate on God's presence in our lives and all the good things that God does for us. And let us never forget in times that we do not necessarily feel God's presence, that He is always near to uphold and to sustain us.